wrote more of the New Testament than anyone else. Yet when you compare his words to Jesus Christ's, the contradictions are impossible to ignore. And these aren't minor differences. They're direct collisions in message and spirit. Paul's ministry began with a mysterious vision, a blinding light and a voice claiming to be Jesus Christ. But Paul himself warns that Satan masquerades as an angel of light. So how do we know that light wasn't the very deception he warned about? It gets stranger. In 2 Corinthians 12:7, Paul admits he had what he calls a messenger of Satan, a demon, in his flesh. He says he asked the Lord 3 times to take it away, and the Lord told him no, that his grace was enough and the demon should stay to keep him humble. But that claim falls apart the moment you hold it next to Jesus Christ's own words. In Luke 4:18, Jesus Christ says he came to set the captives free, to heal the brokenhearted, and to release those in bondage. In John 8:36 he says, "If the Son makes you free, you will be free indeed." In Matthew 8:16, he cast out the spirits with his word and healed all who were sick. Not some, not most, all. Never once did Jesus Christ leave a demon inside someone for humility. That's the opposite of his mission. And here's where it gets even more damning for Paul's claim. In Matthew 12:25-26, Jesus Christ says, "Every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined." If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom stand? If a demon from Satan's kingdom was actually serving Jesus Christ's purpose by keeping Paul humble, then Satan's kingdom would be working against itself, something Jesus Christ said does not happen. The only other explanation is that Jesus Christ somehow forced this demon to work for him. But that would mean Jesus Christ violated the demon's free will, something God has never done to any being, not even humans. And if God were willing to override the will of a demon, why not simply force every demon to serve him right now and end evil entirely? This leaves us with 3 possibilities. 1, Jesus Christ was wrong when he said Satan's kingdom doesn't divide against itself, which is impossible. 2, Paul completely misunderstood what happened to him. Or 3, the being Paul spoke to was not Jesus Christ at all, but a deceiver who twisted both God's character and Satan's role. And when you add in the rest of Paul's contradictions with Jesus Christ's words, the case gets even stronger. Jesus Christ says, "Do not fear," but Paul's letters include fear-based commands like obeying rulers because they are God's servants, even if they are corrupt. Jesus Christ says, "My sheep hear my voice," calling his followers directly, but Paul tells believers, "Follow me as I follow Christ," inserting himself as an unnecessary middleman. Jesus Christ says, "Call no man master," but Paul teaches obedience to earthly authorities, even oppressive ones, framing it as God's will. Paul's letters outnumber every other voice in the New Testament, flooding the pages and often overshadowing the red letters of Jesus Christ himself. If even one of his teachings contradicts Jesus Christ, his overwhelming influence becomes dangerous. And if Paul's words redefine or override Jesus Christ's, then we haven't just misinterpreted Scripture. We've replaced the Son of God with the words of a man who admitted to carrying a messenger of Satan. For anyone who truly wants to follow Jesus Christ, without middlemen, without deception, and without compromise, this should be a wake-up call.